What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video, I wanted to teach you everything you need to know about the artifact perk Monochromatic Maestro. This perk is in the final column of the artifact, and it states dealing elemental ability damage increases matching weapon damage, and elemental weapon damage increases matching ability damage. Now, this perk is a rarity for Bungie because they actually explain what it does with damage numbers and timers instead of just giving a vague description. I wish they would do more of this. However, there are a couple cool things about this perk that you may not have known, so that is what this video is going to show you. First off, before we go any further, the most important thing you have to know is this does not work at all with Strand. I even tested it and looked at the damage numbers to see if it was just a visual bug, but nope, it just straight up does not work. This is extremely unfortunate, and my theory is that Bungie did not let it count with Strand because Strand has so much ability uptime, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is just a bug. I honestly hope it's just a bug because this would be great to pair with so many Strand builds. I tested Stasis thinking maybe it was a Darkness subclass thing, but nope, Stasis seems to work. So the next thing I wanted to test was the timer. So I have 2 Shuriken melees on Stasis. I land one and get the damage bonus for 5 seconds. I then throw another one before the timer runs out and it refreshes. So there is no need to wait on a cooldown or anything. If you want to spam a melee and grenade back to back, the perk will refresh. You can also have both the ability timer and the weapon timer active at the same time, so you can spam back and forth between weapon damage and ability damage. This is especially great on something like a Heart of Inmost Light Titan. The next thing I wanted to test was, does it work with weapon surge mods? And to my surprise, they do stack. I have 3 arc weapon surge mods on, and when I do ability damage, that stack goes up to arc weapon boost times 4. Now normally that is a 25% buff on things like Eternal Warrior or Doomfang Pauldrons, so our crit should hit for 15,208 damage, but it does not. It hits for 16,327, which is a 34.2% buff. So that means this is a 10% buff on top of the 22% that you get from 3 arc weapon surges. So this means your weapon is dealing 1/3 more damage every time you activate Monochromatic Maestro when you have 3 weapon surges. So that's really good to know. Next, it appears that this season's elemental orbs count as weapon damage. You can see when I throw the orb, I get the damage boost timer, but not a weapon damage timer. So that is good to know. The last thing I wanted to test was super damage. I figured it should be an ability, right? And I was correct. My base Celestial Golden Gun hits for 665,000 damage, but when I activate Monochromatic Maestro, it hits for 732,000 damage. So Star Eater Blade Barrage Hunters are eating really good this season as they can now deal an additional 10% damage. And this makes it even more sad that Strand does not work, as those supers hit really hard and another 10% would be really nice. I'm loving this on Geomag Stabilizers this season, as that super destroys when you have this boost going with Arc Surge in the activity. So then this led me down a big rabbit hole, and holy shit, this perk is way better than I thought. I thought, how does this work with Well of Radiance? Well, here's where things get stupid. At base, my sniper hits a crit at 38,586 damage, and in a well, this goes up to 48,232. That's a 25% damage boost. From here, we can add surge mods to take our damage to 58,843, but then we chuck a grenade to activate Monochromatic Maestro, and we hit for 64,723 damage, a 67.7% damage increase. That is absurd, because you have 25% from Well, 22% from Surges, and 10% from Monochromatic Maestro. What is crazier is Hunters should be able to get 25% instead of 22% from Surges with Foe Tracer. And I didn't test it, but this would presumably work with the 35% buff from Lumina as well, as that just overrides the Well of Radiance buff. So with Lumina, you would hit for 81.1% more damage. And if you were a Hunter getting 25% from Foe Tracer, you could hit for 85.6% more damage. So what does this look like with an Apex Predator bait and switch rocket? Well, one damage number hits about 200,000 and the other hits for about 64,000. And again, that isn't even with Lumina. And on top of all that, you can see the damage timer getting extended because I have a Touch of Flame solar grenade which deals damage over time. So that, or Vortex grenades, or Duskfield grenades, or Pulse grenades, or something will extend the damage duration. Hell, maybe Starfire Protocol is back on the menu because you get 2 grenades. So you can re-proc the buff when your timer goes away. There are many possibilities for keeping this damage uptime going. I just wanted to show the numbers. So that is the perk. If you made it this far, I have a special treat for you guys. I got asked if Whirling Maelstrom Tangles get buffed by the artifact perk Frenzied Stacks, and I'm happy to report that they do. So they can deal a shit ton of damage if you have that going. I guess that kinda helps to make up for the fact that Strand doesn't get the benefits of Monochromatic Maestro. Hopefully Bungie fixes that soon. Anyways, that is the end of the video. I hope you found it informative, and if you did, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. Happy damage stacking, and take care.